49 white African refugees are on their way to the United States. They will be received by the government of President Trump. What is your reaction to this?
Well, we've raised our own concern because those people who are being enticed to go to the United States do not fit the definition of a refugee. A refugee is someone who has to leave their country out of fear of political persecution, religious persecution, or economic persecution. And
that's what the United States says they're undergoing in South Africa. That's why they've opened the door for them.
Yes, and they don't fit that bill. They don't fit that description. And I had a conversation with President Trump on the phone, and he said, what's happening down there? And I said, President, what you've been told by those people who are opposed to transformation back home in South Africa is not true. And I added to him, I said, we were well taught by Nelson Mandela and other iconic leaders like Oliver Tambo on how to continue to build a united nation out of the diverse groupings that we have in South Africa. We're the only country on the continent where the colonizers came to stay, and we have never driven them out of our country. So they are staying, and they're making great progress. It's a fringe grouping that does not have a lot of support, that is anti-transformation and anti-change, that would actually prefer to see South Africa going back to apartheid type of policies. And I said to him, I would never do that. I learned at the feet of Nelson Mandela, and we intend to proceed with the implementation of our constitutional architecture. And I thought in my conversation with him early in the morning at 4 o'clock South African time, he understood that. And I said, I'd like to come and meet him so that we can discuss this matter further. So those people who have fled are not being persecuted. They are not being hounded. They are not being treated badly. And they are leaving ostensibly because they don't want to embrace the changes that are taking place in our country in accordance with our Constitution. So we think that the American government has got the wrong end of the stick here, but we'll continue talking to them.
Julius Malema said no more white capital in South Africa. They do not want white capital in South Africa. And that white people should move back to Europe. So, and you can see this, that South Africa has become the highest unemployment country in the world. South Africa has the highest unemployment rate in the world. 1,500 businesses have closed their doors last year in South Africa. Another 300 businesses have already closed and shut their doors for this year alone. So an average of 100 plus businesses are closing their doors in South Africa. White capital is definitely moving out of South Africa, and because they only want black capital in South Africa. So, and the thing is too risky, too dangerous to have a business in South Africa. The crime rate is in South Africa is the highest since this African National Communist took over in South Africa. People get murdered literally for $1 or for a cell phone in South Africa. So the risk has become too much of a danger to have a business. So if I were you and you want to invest or were thinking to invest in South Africa, I would rather not do that. You are going to lose so much. The risk factor has become enormous to invest in South Africa. If you have a business in South Africa, close the doors, shut it down, get rid of all your employers, let they go and have a subsidy from the government.
What kind of cheap propaganda is this? Is this how low some people can get just to discredit an individual? Why cook up all these lies? At least show us some evidence to prove that Mr. Julius Malema actually said it. Just show a short video of him saying something like this. You also mentioned that South Africa has the highest rate of unemployment. How is that Mr. Julius Malema's fault? You also mentioned businesses are packing out of South Africa and you're warning people not to invest in South Africa. How is it his fault? Is Mr. Julius Malema already your president? Or are you telling us something we do not know? Why are you all scared? Or are you indirectly telling us how the current government in South Africa is performing? Please just come out straight, okay? This your propaganda is too cheap. At least it's not even believable. So guys, these are the kind of things people will come up with to discredit individuals. These are the kind of things people will come up with to poison the minds of people from seeing good leaders. My brothers in South Africa, open your eyes. It's like some of you are not seeing what the whole of Africa is seeing in Mr. Julius Malema. Please wake up. Wake up for the sake of this continent. Thank you for watching and let me know what you think about this video.
South Africa has decided to remove all the white people from South Africa. These are the Africans. These are the people that were owning large tracts of land. They had so much, while the people in South Africa had nothing. And when you just try to understand how they got large tracts of land, you cannot even trace. So these people took these lands during the colonial era and they had refused to leave South Africa. So 8,000 of them will be going to the United States of America, to their ancestral land. Now remember that just the other day is when South Africa got independence. But now the people who were in South Africa, the Europeans, did not leave South Africa. They were still living there, including an area in South Africa where only white people live. They don't even want a single black person to be seen in that area. You can imagine how these people are treating the Africans. And now South Africa has said enough is enough. And this...
But wait, so the simple question I want to ask, do we really have evidence of all these things we are saying here? Because based on information, the president is saying another thing and I'm hearing another thing. Do we have a concrete evidence concerning this? Please. It is well.